This was a magazine published between 1926 and 1935, essentially as an imitation New Yorker. Like many of my colleagues, particularly in history, stack browsing is a very common pursuit. So I was quite surprised and startled to see something I had never seen before and had never heard of before. And I think that's the case even today when people take a look at the magazine. They're quite astonished that something like this existed and could be forgotten so completely almost. When I took them off the shelf, what of course attracted my attention and still attracts people's attention are these wonderful covers. Wonderful because of their diversity. They're all different. And this is a favorite of my wife's, Teri Edelstein, who worked with me on the book, just because of the exuberance. This is March. The winds are wreaking havoc, as they usually do in March in Chicago. And again, there is, in the top hat and the dress and the bright colors, lots of elegance. On the inside of the Chicagoan, most every page has some kind of illustration or other. We're looking at perhaps this Chicago Clubs and Inquiry, which is what this page is about, was one of a series on Chicago clubs by different authors, but all of them had illustrations by A.R. Katz. And Katz was an illustrator rather than a cartoonist or a caricaturist, but he was very prolific and perhaps the single largest contributor to the artwork of the Chicagoan. The Chicagoan's Town Talk was a feature for a while. The names would change, and I was surprised at how much coverage was given to the University of Chicago in those days, more than it gets in today's press. Surprisingly, perhaps, the graduates or former students of the university who went to work for the Chicagoan and other Chicago newspapers in this period, it's a very large number. Irma Sells, who did cartoons and would have a notable illustrating career, worked on the yearbook and other university publications while she was an undergraduate here. So there's quite a lot of activity, interactivity, between the university and the Chicagoan. They are sort of marvelous in their own way. I don't think I've ever had a project which rested as totally as this one did on a particular set of volumes. You know, it was an accident, a happy accident, and I'm glad it happened.